Welcome to Horoscope Reads, the place where the soul of every zodiac sign speaks with no filters, no masks, just pure truth. Before we dive deep into the shadows and lights of loyalty and betrayal, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button to join our cosmic family. Here, we explore the zodiac as it really is: raw, real, and relentless. Now, buckle up for a journey through the stars, from the most faithful to the most unfaithful, because every sign leaves a mark. But some marks are harder to erase. 12. Taurus, the rock-solid guardian who sometimes fails the heart. Taurus, you are the steady mountain in a world of shifting sands, a symbol of unwavering stability. Your loyalty is legendary, a fortress built on patience, trust, and slow-burning devotion. When Taurus loves, they love deeply, with a grip that is both comforting and suffocating. You stand by your people through storms and sunshine alike, a dependable anchor in turbulent seas. Yet beneath that calm exterior lies a stubbornness so fierce it sometimes blinds you to the fragility of trust. You are slow to forgive but also slow to betray, or so it seems. But when Taurus turns away, when that solid ground cracks beneath someone's feet, it is not out of sudden anger but a cold, calculated decision that comes after countless silent disappointments. Your betrayals are not loud or reckless. They are quiet withdrawals, subtle betrayals of absence and neglect, where your heart closes off before words can even be spoken. You prize loyalty as a sacred oath, but your stubborn pride can sometimes harden into walls. When trust is broken, your retaliation is not fury but frost, a slow freeze that leaves wounds unnoticed until they fester. Those you betray are not often the victims of deceitful lies, but rather the victims of your retreat, your refusal to soften or to communicate pain. Yet, Taurus, your betrayals are not born of cruelty but fear, the fear of being vulnerable, of losing control over the world you've so carefully built. You hold love tightly, almost too tightly, and sometimes in that grip, you smother the very trust you swore to protect. To be betrayed by Taurus is to feel the slow disappearance of presence. The absence of those little rituals that once meant everything, the familiar touch, the shared silence, the dependable routine. It's the quiet fading that hurts the most, because with Taurus, love is in the everyday, and when the everyday vanishes, so does the feeling of safety. But don't mistake this for weakness. Taurus's loyalty, once given, can last a lifetime, even if sometimes it feels like a weight too heavy to carry. Their betrayals cut deep because they are so rare, so unexpected, so utterly unlike the rock-solid image they project. In the end, Taurus is a paradox, the guardian who sometimes becomes the cold stranger, the lover who sometimes becomes the silent deserter. Their heart is vast, but their trust is sacred, and when that sacred trust is broken, even the strongest mountain trembles. Have you ever felt the slow, almost invisible betrayal of a Taurus? Have you experienced the bittersweet pain of losing someone who never shouted goodbye but just stopped showing up? Share your story with us. Here, every emotion has a voice, and every betrayal, no matter how quiet, deserves to be told. 11. Cancer, the fierce protector whose loyalty hides fragile pain. Cancer, you are the fortress of feelings, the ocean's deepest waves hidden behind a calm shore. Your loyalty is legendary, woven from threads of care, protection, and endless sacrifice. You love not with words, but with actions, the gentle touch, the midnight vigil, the silent tears wiped away when no one is watching. Yet beneath that boundless devotion beats a heart so fragile it breaks 1,000 times before it dares to speak. You give yourself completely, wearing your heart on your sleeve, but that vulnerability makes your loyalty both fierce and fearful. To betray a Cancer is to wound a soul that doesn't easily forget or forgive. You hold grudges like precious relics, memories etched with pain and tenderness intertwined. Your love is a refuge, but also a cage built with walls so thick that few ever see the loneliness behind your strength. Cancer's loyalty is not given lightly. It is earned through storms weathered side by side, through tears shared in the dark, and laughter that echoes in the quiet moments of understanding. You protect your loved ones with a fierceness that can feel overwhelming, a tidal wave of emotion that lifts up or drowns. But beware, Cancer, for that same ocean can turn stormy and wild when trust is shattered. Your betrayals are not loud. They are a silent retreat, a closing off of your heart's gates when the pain becomes unbearable. When Cancer steps away, it is not because they don't care, it is because they have been hurt too deeply, too often. Their love becomes a memory, a ghost that haunts the places where laughter once lived. You are the sign that loves with all its soul, yet fears abandonment more than anything. Your loyalty is a promise to stand guard, to be the home others can return to, but when that home feels unsafe, you disappear quietly, leaving an ache that lingers like a fading scent. To be betrayed by Cancer is to feel the absence of a protector, the missing piece of warmth that once held you together. It is to understand that sometimes, love is not enough to heal wounds that run too deep. Still, Cancer's love is unmatched in its depth and devotion. Once they trust, they are fiercely loyal for life. Their betrayals hurt because they come from a place of pain, not malice. They teach us that love is both strength and fragility, and that sometimes the hardest loyalty to keep is the one we owe to ourselves. Have you ever loved a Cancer who guarded your heart fiercely, only to retreat when the shadows grew too long? Have you felt the bittersweet silence left behind when their fierce love turns inward? Share your truth with us. Here every story matters, every wound is sacred, and every love, no matter how painful, leaves an indelible mark. 10. Virgo, the silent guardian who loves through quiet devotion. Virgo steps into your life like a whisper, never demanding the spotlight but always shaping the scenery with quiet hands. Their loyalty is steady, like the steady hum of a clock that never falters, ticking away with purpose and care. They don't shout their love from rooftops or drape you in grand gestures. Instead, Virgo shows devotion in the small things: a thoughtfully brewed cup of tea, a detailed plan for your future, a note left where only you will find it. They are the healers of the zodiac, always tending to your wounds, often before you even realize they are there. But don't mistake their calm for weakness. Behind that measured gaze beats a heart fiercely committed, constantly analyzing how best to protect and serve those they love. Virgos love with their minds and their souls, striving to make everything perfect, hoping that in order lies safety. Their loyalty is meticulous and exacting. They expect honesty and effort in return, and can be unforgiving when those standards are broken. Betray a Virgo, and you break a mirror that reflects not only their love but their very identity. Yet Virgo's greatest strength is also their burden. Their desire to fix and perfect can become a cage, trapping both themselves and those they care for in a web of silent criticism and unspoken worries. Their loyalty often comes wrapped in careful caution, sometimes misunderstood as distance or coldness. When a Virgo walks away, it is rarely with a dramatic farewell. It is a quiet departure, a closing of a book with no second chances. They don't burn bridges. They simply step off the path, leaving you with the weight of what might have been. Their loyalty, while enduring, can fracture under neglect or betrayal, leaving behind an absence felt deeply but seldom loudly expressed. To love a Virgo is to accept both their unwavering devotion and their restless mind. To understand that their love is a craft, honed over years of self-reflection and high standards. It is to realize that beneath their careful exterior lies a heart that aches fiercely when trust is broken. Have you ever held on to a Virgo who loved quietly but deeply? Felt the sting of their absence not in loud pain but in the slow unraveling of trust? Share your story with us, because in Horoscope reads, every silent love deserves a voice. Every quiet heartbreak deserves to be heard. 9. Capricorn, the stoic architect, whose loyalty bears the weight of burdens. Capricorn enters your life like a shadow cast by towering mountains, solid, unyielding, and wrapped in a cloak of seriousness. Their loyalty is a fortress built with sweat and discipline, an unspoken vow to stand by your side, no matter the storm. But beneath that stoic exterior lies a heart weighed down by expectations and responsibilities too heavy for many to bear. To love a Capricorn is to enter a world of silent promises, where words are fewer but deeds speak volumes. Their loyalty is measured in actions, the long hours spent building a future, the sacrifices made quietly, the unyielding support offered without fanfare. Yet this same loyalty is guarded by walls of self-protection, because Capricorn fears vulnerability more than failure. They love with a cautious heart, opening slowly and only when trust has been earned through patience and perseverance. Betray them, and you don't just break their trust, you shatter the foundation of their carefully constructed world. Capricorn doesn't forgive easily, holding on to grudges like rare gems polished by time and pain. Their loyalty is a double-edged sword. It can protect you fiercely, but it can also suffocate when the weight of their high standards and unspoken expectations presses down too hard. Capricorn demands loyalty in return and is quick to withdraw if they sense deceit or disloyalty, leaving a cold emptiness where warmth once lived. When Capricorn leaves, it is with dignity and finality, a quiet closing of a chapter that offers no second chances. They don't dwell in sorrow or drama. They simply move forward, their hearts heavy but resolute, Their loyalty lingers as a shadow, a reminder of what was and what might have been. To love a Capricorn is to accept the burden of their ambitions, the silence behind their gaze, and the deep longing for a partnership that is both a refuge and a challenge. Their love is not always tender, but it is enduring and profound, marked by the scars of battles fought in the name of loyalty. Have you ever loved a Capricorn who built walls around their heart only to let you in just enough to hurt? Felt the sting of their departure, not in loud goodbyes, but in the cold distance that followed? Share your story with us here at Horoscope Reads, because every steadfast heart deserves to be understood. Every quiet goodbye deserves a voice. 8. Pisces, the dreamer who loves beyond reality but struggles to stay grounded. Pisces drifts into your life like a soft, mysterious mist, a gentle presence that soothes and captivates with the promise of escape from harsh realities. Their loyalty is a tender song, sung from the depths of a soul that feels everything deeply: joys, sorrows, hopes, and fears, all mingling in a sea of emotion too vast to fully comprehend. They love with a heart wide open but vulnerable, often blurring the line between love and fantasy. To love a Pisces is to hold a fragile dream in your hands. Beautiful and delicate, yet at risk of slipping away with the slightest tremor. Their loyalty is boundless, but sometimes lost amid the waves of their own doubts, fears, and insecurities. Pisces can be the most compassionate and forgiving of lovers, willing to swim through storms and forgive the deepest wounds, yet their very kindness can become their undoing. Their trust is given freely but can be shattered by the harshness of reality, forcing them to retreat into the sanctuary of their own imagination. They struggle to balance their desire to love fiercely with the fear of being hurt, and sometimes, they escape into daydreams or illusions rather than face painful truths. When betrayed, a Pisces doesn't lash out with anger. Instead, they dissolve quietly, leaving behind an ache that's felt long after they've gone. Their loyalty may seem elusive, because it's tied to a complex inner world where reality and dreams collide. When a Pisces leaves, it's often without closure, a fading away into silence, leaving you grasping at memories that seem as intangible as mist. To love a Pisces is to accept their contradictions, the vulnerability and strength, the beauty and pain, the devotion and occasional disappearance. It's to understand that their loyalty is not always easy to grasp but is always sincere and profound. Have you ever loved a Pisces whose loyalty felt like a dream fading at dawn? Whose presence was a comforting illusion that disappeared when you needed it most? Share your story with us at Horoscope Reads, because every fleeting love deserves to be remembered. Every lost dream deserves a voice. 7. Leo, the fierce flame that burns. Bright and leaves scars. Leo storms into your life like a blazing sun at high noon, impossible to ignore, impossible to resist. Their loyalty is grand, dramatic, and full of passion, a roaring fire that warms your soul but can also scorch it if you get too close. To love a Leo is to be both the king or queen of their world and the target of their deepest fears and insecurities. They give their loyalty like a precious crown, lavishing you with praise, attention, and fierce protection. Yet behind that golden exterior lies a vulnerability few get to see: a hunger to be adored, and the dread of being forgotten. Leo's love is a tempest of extremes, generous and grand, but also demanding and sometimes selfish. Their pride can be both their strength and their downfall. When betrayed, Leo doesn't simply walk away quietly. They burn bridges and leave behind ashes of what once was. Their loyalty is a treasure, but once cracked, it turns into a weapon that cuts deep. Loving a Leo means living with the highs of exhilarating joy and the lows of passionate storms. They can make you feel like the most important person alive, yet leave you gasping for air when their need for admiration overshadows everything else. Their loyalty is fierce, but their ego can sometimes blind them to the feelings of others. When a Leo leaves, it's with a dramatic finality, a curtain closing on a stage where they once shined as the star. The pain isn't just in their absence, but in the echo of their laughter, the memory of their touch, and the shadow of their fire that no one else can quite replace. To love a Leo is to embrace the beauty and the chaos, the light and the shadows. It is to understand that their loyalty, though powerful, demands respect and admiration in return, and that their departure leaves a void filled with both longing and awe. Have you ever been the center of a Leo's universe only to be left with a heart full of flames and ashes? Felt the thrill of their love and the sting of their pride? Share your story with us at Horoscope Reads, because every roaring flame deserves to be heard. Every scar tells a story. 6. Cancer, the tender shelter that leaves a void impossible to fill. Cancer is the quiet harbor in the stormy sea of life, the soft embrace that promises safety when the world feels harsh and unrelenting. Their loyalty is deep and unwavering, a shelter built from gentle care, fierce protection, and an ocean of empathy few can fathom. To love a Cancer is to know what it means to be truly seen, cherished, and guarded with an intensity that can both comfort and suffocate. They love not with loud declarations, but with countless small acts, a knowing glance, a prepared meal, a silent presence when words fail. Their loyalty roots itself in devotion so profound that forgetting them feels like trying to unlearn a language your soul once spoke fluently. But their depth is also their vulnerability. When Cancer feels wounded, their retreat is silent but profound. They pull back into their shell, leaving behind a chilling absence that echoes louder than any fight or confrontation ever could. Their love, so rich and protective, can become a weight when they feel unappreciated, leading to withdrawal that breaks the heart. Cancer's loyalty isn't just about standing by your side. It's about carrying the emotional weight of your pain, fears, and joys as if they were their own. Yet this selflessness can blur the line between love and loss, as they give endlessly until they have nothing left to give. When a Cancer leaves, it is not out of anger but out of sorrow, a silent surrender to the belief that their love is no longer needed or wanted. Their departure leaves a haunting quietness, a space where warmth once lived, now cold and distant. To love a Cancer is to accept the paradox of their fierce loyalty and tender fragility, to feel the depths of their devotion and the sharp sting of their absence. Their love is a refuge, but also a reminder that even the strongest shelters can crumble under neglect. Have you ever felt the sanctuary of a Cancer's love and then the hollow silence of their leaving? Been held so tightly only to be left yearning for the warmth that once was? Share your story with us at Horoscope Reads, because every shelter deserves a voice. Every goodbye leaves a mark. 5. Gemini, the beautiful chaos that both and confuses. Gemini is a whirlwind of energy and contradiction, a living paradox who captivates with wit, charm, and boundless curiosity. Loving a Gemini is like dancing on shifting sands, exciting, unpredictable, and sometimes exhausting. Their loyalty is a maze of scattered moments, brilliant flashes of connection, and sudden disappearances that leave you questioning what was real. To love a Gemini is to embrace duality. They are both light and shadow, closeness and distance, laughter and silence. Their mind races faster than their heart, often pulling them away just when you think you've finally caught hold of them. They wear many faces, and sometimes even they don't fully understand who they are in the moment. Their loyalty isn't simple or straightforward. Gemini's heart flutters between desires, sometimes torn between staying and fleeing. They love deeply, but with a restless spirit that refuses to be caged. Betrayal isn't always intentional, it is often the result of their own internal chaos and fear of being trapped. For Gemini, love is a puzzle they're constantly trying to solve but never quite finish. They can be your greatest joy and your biggest confusion, lighting up your world and then vanishing like a breeze. Their departures leave unfinished stories, unanswered questions, and a yearning for the sparkle that once was. To forget a Gemini is nearly impossible because their energy lingers in your memories, in the jokes they told, the midnight talks, the fleeting touches that burned brighter than they lasted. You don't just remember a Gemini, you feel the echo of their presence, a beautiful chaos that refuses to settle. Have you ever loved a Gemini and felt like you were chasing a shadow? Caught between enchantment and bewilderment? Share your story with us at Horoscope Reads, because every puzzle deserves to be explored. Every chaos has its own kind of beauty. 4. Sagittarius, the flame that ignites and flees without warning. Sagittarius arrives like a wildfire, blazing bright, wild, and impossible to contain. Loving a Sagittarius means embracing a love that burns with reckless abandon, lighting up your life with laughter, adventure, and boundless energy, yet disappearing just as suddenly as it arrived. Their loyalty is fierce in the moment, but as fleeting as the wind that carries their restless spirit. To love a Sagittarius is to know freedom's price. They crave the open sky, the uncharted road, and the endless horizon. They love boldly, but only while their soul remains untethered. The moment they feel confined, the chains of routine or expectation, they vanish without a trace. No goodbyes, no explanations, just silence that roars louder than words. Their departure is not cruelty, but survival, a desperate flight from anything that threatens to trap their fiery heart. Sagittarius teaches that love can be wild and free, but also that sometimes, love must be released to breathe. They leave behind echoes of laughter, dreams shared beneath starlit skies, and a burning question: was it real, or just a beautiful mirage. Their loyalty is a flame that can warm you deeply but risks scorching your soul. They don't settle for anything less than passion and truth, yet they fear the walls that love can build around them. When they leave marks of joy and pain intertwined, memories that flicker like embers long after the fire is gone. Have you ever been caught in the blaze of a Sagittarius's love, only to watch it flicker out before your eyes? Felt the thrill of their freedom and the ache of their absence? Share your story with us at Horoscope Reads, because some flames burn brightest in memory, even as they disappear. 3. Leo, the radiant fire that both warms and burns. Leo enters your life like the midday sun, impossible to ignore, dazzling, and full of life. Loving a Leo means basking in their warmth, feeling like the center of their universe, and being wrapped in a grandeur that makes you feel invincible. Their loyalty is fierce, proud, and unyielding. But it comes with a price: the burning intensity of their ego and the shadows of their need to be adored. Leo's love is a performance, a passionate display where you are both the star and the audience. They give their all, defending you as if you were their most precious treasure, but their pride can cast a long shadow. When Leo leaves, they don't simply walk away, they retreat like the setting sun, taking with them the light that once illuminated your world, leaving behind a cold emptiness that's hard to fill. To love a Leo is to accept their need for admiration and validation, to be their confidant and their crown, but also to face the loneliness of their absence when the spotlight fades. They demand loyalty but expect you to understand their silence, their prideful walls, and the fierce battles they fight within. For all their generosity, Leos can scorch those they love with jealousy and pride. Their love is heroic and dramatic, but when it ends, it leaves scars, a longing for a fire that once burned so brightly, now reduced to ashes. Forgetting a Leo is not just about moving on. It's about grieving the loss of a sun that once made your days shine. Have you ever been the center of a Leo's universe, only to find yourself lost in the shadows when they leave? Felt their warmth and then the cold void of their absence? Share your story with us at Horoscope Reads, because some fires leave marks no time can erase. 2. Cancer, the tender shelter that haunts your soul. Cancer doesn't just love. Cancer embodies love with every fiber of their being. Their loyalty is a fortress, built on deep emotion and fierce protection, but it is also a delicate vulnerability wrapped in layers of guarded silence. To love a Cancer is to find refuge in their embrace, yet also to feel the sting when that sanctuary slowly crumbles. Cancer's heart is an ocean, vast, deep, sometimes stormy, and often misunderstood. They nurture with a devotion few can match, but when betrayed, their wounds run deep, and their retreat is both sudden and sorrowful. Their loyalty is not given lightly. It is earned through time, patience, and countless quiet sacrifices. When Cancer leaves, it's like the tide receding, slow, inevitable, and leaving behind echoes of what once was. They don't make grand exits or loud goodbyes. Instead, they disappear with tears hidden behind closed doors, their pain bottled up so as not to cause more hurt. And this silent departure can break you in ways words never could. To forget a Cancer is to forget the safety they offered, the silent understanding they provided when no one else could, the home they created in their heart, just for you. But once that home is closed, the void feels endless, a haunting absence that echoes in your soul long after they've gone. Have you ever been held in the shelter of a Cancer's love, only to find that shelter dissolve quietly around you? Felt their deep care, and then the unbearable silence of their absence? Share your story with us at Horoscope Reads, because some loves are shelters, and losing them is like losing your way home. 1. Taurus, the unyielding route that clings and resists. Taurus is the steady earth beneath your feet, the silent strength that promises permanence in a world of chaos. Their loyalty is a deep-rooted bond, slow to grow but impossible to uproot once established. Loving a Taurus means learning the language of constancy, quiet, steadfast, and sometimes stubborn to the point of pain. Taurus loves with a solidity that comforts and confines. They don't rush their affections. Instead, they test, observe, and commit only when their heart is certain. Their love is not loud or flashy. It is the slow, sure pulse of a heart that beats through storms and seasons alike. But when that foundation cracks, the shattering is profound and often irreversible. The darkest side of Taurus's loyalty is their refusal to let go, even when the relationship has withered. Their pride and principles can trap them and you in cycles of pain and silence. When Taurus finally walks away, it is not impulsive but a resignation after battles fought within themselves. Their departure feels like losing a part of the earth itself, solid, nurturing, yet impossibly distant. Forgetting a Taurus is like trying to forget the smell of rain on dry soil, ingrained, evocative, and haunting. They leave behind memories of unwavering support, patient love, and a stubborn refusal to surrender. But they also leave scars of lost stability and the echo of what could have been if only the roots had held. Have you ever loved a Taurus so deeply that forgetting them felt like losing your ground? Felt their silent strength and then the painful absence of their steadfast presence? Share your story with us at Horoscope Reads, because some bonds are unbreakable, even when broken. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the most unfaithful zodiac signs, from the most loyal to the most traitorous. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the mysteries of the zodiac. Share your stories and thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep looking to the stars. This is Horoscope Reads, guiding you through the cosmic truths that touch your soul.